Hey guys, so, um, I think the topic of discussion, I can't even see where my camera is to look at, so I'll just look at myself. I think that the topic of discussion today is going to be philosophy and my interpretation of God, which is really complicated, and I'm a lot less drunk than I was in my last video. I can't even watch back because I know there were some parts that I liked about it, and then there were some parts that I just don't want to watch it back again. Like, I already watched it back one time, and I was like, it was right after I made it, and I was like laughing at myself because I kept laughing at myself because I'm a fucking stupid bitch. But but this video I kind of want to be more like here and now, and I want to make it like regular kind of these videos. That last video took like fucking 3 days to upload because I don't have Wi-Fi, I just have data, so unlimited data, but I have like only a certain amount of like high-speed data. So it took because I already ran out of my high-speed data, so it took for fucking ever, but it finally got uploaded. And it shows up to me as, oh, uploaded 3 days ago, but no, it probably just uploaded today. But anyway, and I'm gonna keep playing with this. And what? So, and I think the theme of these videos is gonna be I am going to be like drinking, you know, like I am drinking right now, so that I can speak clearer. I don't know, like there's something about me where when I'm sober, I'm just not that great at communicating. And oh, also, look at my hat. This is my YouTube channel logo, which isn't like my YouTube channel. I've had this picture. I drew this picture, and on like a notepad, I drew that, and then I like took a photo of it, and then I edited it and shit to make it look all like that, you know, like my YouTube channel logo. And about a month ago or some shit, I was like looking for hats, and then I found these like hats where you can like edit your logo onto it or something, and I was like, oh, that'd be fun, like let me try that out. So I fucking went on there and put my logo on I was like, what should I go for? Oh, I should go for my signature pig, because I came up with this cartoon pig when I was like 8 years old or something, and I made a little storybook about him and all that stuff, and like a picture book with stories with him and stuff. I wish I still kept that to this day because it was so like valuable, but I just love throwing things out, so I just like was like, oh, this is stupid, and I threw it out. Stupid. I wish I still had it because it would be evidence. Like, look, I created this little character when I was like so young. And so he's always been like something that I doodle. I always doodle him over. He's like my logo, I always say. He's like, that's my logo. Mr. Piggy, or Snoozy is his new name, and that's the name of this channel now. So it's named after him. So I was like playing around, I'm like, what can I add on there? Oh, I'll add like my like life logo on there. Like, this is the thing I like doodle him onto everything. So I'm like, oh, let me like, let's see. It was only like $6 for this hat on Amazon. And yeah, I know we're not supposed to use Amazon, but I don't fucking care. So I was like, oh, so I took the photo, the JPEG or whatever, and put it on the hat and positioned it. It was supposed to be like more to like this side, but I guess they're cheap and shit. And I thought it was gonna be embroidered on, because I looked up embroidered like hat logo shit, and it's like a sticker or something. So this hat sucks ass. and I haven't worn it since I got it. Cause oh my god, do you see? Cause you see these like white lines and shit, like it wasn't even cropped correctly, and they just like made a sticker, just like hot glued it on or some shit. It wasn't that much, but I was like, when I was doing it, I was like, let's see, like it might be a flop, it might work out, like either way, it'll be a funny joke either way. I didn't have high expectations for it in the first place, and then I had it made, and so now it's more of a joke. And you know what? I'm gonna start wearing him as a joke in my videos. Ow. Let me adjust this. I have to like bend down and like be in frame. It's stupid. Yeah, I want these videos to be like candid and like stream of thought a little bit. So philosophy, or more like my philosophy on existence, and well, I guess that is philosophy. I don't know. Where do I start? It's all over the fucking place. Hold on, guys. What y'all need to do too, okay, is if you're drinking, drink with me. Like, take a shot, take a sip of your mixed drink, whatever. Don't judge my fucking nails. Yeah, they're a little bit long, but they grow really fucking fast. And a day ago, they were fucking, like, not like this. But, like, look at my nails. Like, no calcium deposits. Anyway, off topic. So I'm thinking of, like, having, like, themes for these videos, honestly. And, like, honestly, I should start, like, making notes so I can, like, know where to start, because this is out of, look how red it is there now from itching my eye. Anyway, like, have notes so I know, like, what topics to touch on or whatever as I go, and just, like, make it mostly stream of consciousness, but then, like, reference my notes. This is just my second one, and I'm not as fucked up as I was in the last one, so when I'm, like, really fucked up, I get really stream of conscious, and I can just go and go and go. But, like, I'm not that fucked up right now, so it's kind of hard for me to, like, think of, like, where should I fucking start? I'm, like, overwhelmed. So I'm gonna take a drink, okay? And y'all are gonna do the same thing, okay? And if you don't, I will attack you. And shit, so. I will attack you. If you don't drink with me, or something. Or whatever, or smoke weed. Which girl, see, that's where it's stream of consciousness. Now that brought me to this thought. Smoking weed. I started smoking, oh my god, that's a whole nother topic I just thought of that I could tell you about, like, my childhood and, like, growing up and how dysfunctional everything was. But I started smoking weed when I was 13 years old. And was the first time I tried it, I was a little story. The first time I tried it, we were living in Ohio, and we had freshly, like, left. Oh my god, it's so many stories I need to tell. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But anyway, we had just left where we were before, and we had just, like, gotten there, like couple months before or something, and I accumulated, like, 2 friends who were, like, stoners and shit like that. And I was, like, 13. It was, like, middle school, like the end of middle school or whatever. And that was the first time I smoked weed. I was at his house, and we went into his garage, and, like, he had a bunch of, like, older kids, like, from, like, high school or something, who he knew or whatever, came over and brought the weed. Like, he was telling me when I was there, like, I was hanging out, like, for the day, and we were gonna spend the night. And he was like, oh yeah, I have some friends coming over who like are gonna bring weed and we're gonna smoke weed together. And I'm like, oh cool, yeah, like go ahead, like I can't wait. And they came over, we got all fucking high and fucked up, like faded or whatever. And they left, and I was hanging out with like my friend and my other friend. They were like my only two friends in that school because we weren't even there that long, but like we had only been there at this point for like a couple months or something. And we got so fucked up, and it was such a good feeling when I first smoked weed for the fucking first time. It was the best feeling. I was so happy, and like I was laughing my ass off at everything was hilarious. Like I had such a good first reaction to weed ever in my entire fucking life. Like and I remember I was like running around the house, like jumping around, like, because I think it was a sativa, it must have been, because I was like running around jumping across the furniture and like fucking making jokes and shit. And I guess like I was loose enough where I just like let my gay voice out or something, because they're like they like looked at me and they're like, are you gay? I'm like, why? I was like, why are you asking? And they're like, because you like sound gay right now, like you're acting really, you're acting really gay, and you like sound really gay. And I'm like, no, what? Like, you know, because at that point because I came out when I was 12 to my mom and my brother and shit like that, but I wasn't ready to like come out to the rest of the world yet, like because you know you gotta tread carefully when it comes to stuff like that, because you never know whose reaction, like who's gonna have a certain reaction or whatever. So I never was like open to anyone because I was still scared of like people making fun of me for it or whatever. So I was like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not fucking gay. Like, why do you say that? Like, because the way you're acting, blah blah blah. I'm like, no. But anyway, I ended up having like a really good time. And what brought me to the subject of smoking weed for the first time? I can't even fucking remember. Smoking weed for the first time. And see, that's the thing. I do not want to edit these videos. I just want them to be like straight or whatever. Like straight. I just want them to be like straight, man. And like, no, I just want them to be like straight through videos. I don't have to fucking edit because I don't want to edit. Like, editing is annoying. And I'll fuck it up or something. But why did I start talking about smoking weed for the first time? Girl. Oh, okay, wait, I'm starting to backtrack mentally. Oh, I think I was just talking about how like I started doing things at such a young age. Oh, and then drinking had to do with drinking or some shit. I'm just gonna go from now. So that was the first time I ever smoked weed or whatever, and I think I did smoke weed one time before that, and I didn't feel anything. And it's because I wasn't inhaling properly. Because usually they say, like, oh, you never feel it the first time. You have to do it a few more times to feel it. It's usually it's just because you weren't inhaling it properly. Because usually people will just go, you know, like instead of, they'll just fill their mouth. Oh my god, spit just came out. I hope you did not see that. You probably did. Ugh, fucking disgusting. Anyway, so they'll just fill their mouths with it rather than inhaling because they don't understand how it works. But you gotta like, or you gotta inhale it like, you know what I mean? So, oh, I think I was talking about how I can't smoke weed anymore. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Wait. Can't smoke weed anymore. Oh yeah. I was talking to y'all about how like if you smoke weed, if your thing is weed or whatever, and I was talking about my weed experience. Yeah, so I was, oh my god, now I know what I was fucking talking about. Oh my god, sorry about all this fucking shit, but I'm not cutting it because it's candid. Fuck you. So it's like I used to, so ever since then, I have been like a regular stoner, or had been a regular stoner for the longest time until I turn what, 17? 18, and I stopped smoking for like a year or whatever because of circumstantial things, okay, that I'm not ready to get into right now, you fucking bitch. So stop fucking asking. Oh my god, y'all are always in my up my ass fucking asking me, why can't you smoke weed anymore? Why can't you smoke? I'm not fucking answering that fucking question, you fucking bitch. I just couldn't. So anyway, I stopped fucking smoking weed for like a year and a half or some shit. Like a year. And when I tried smoking weed again, like I was a regular, see, before this, I was a regular pothead since I was 13 till I was 18. A regular pothead. Like, having to smoke, it was almost to the point where it was like an addiction. Well, it was like an addiction, like a, what are they called? Like no, it's like not an addiction, it's, a dependence. I was like dependent on it, like I needed it to like be happy, I needed it for everything, all this fucking shit. And like when I didn't have it, I would like have like meltdowns and shit because I do have autism. I would have like intense, deep meltdowns and shit. And if I didn't have it, and I would always need to get it and all this fucking shit. And like I couldn't live without it, and it felt like such a like you could just go your. I was thinking about it like, this makes life so good, like everything is so good with this substance, you know, like everything is happy. Like I can't imagine never smoking this substance. I can't imagine people, you know, those people, like at the time I was like thinking like those people who like have panic attacks when they smoke weed, like how is that a possibility? Like this shit's so great. And then I stopped smoking for a year after I turned 18. And then when I started smoking it again, it started giving me panic attacks. Sorry, I'm like hiccup burping. I started getting panic attacks, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I like kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. I'm like, why isn't it not happening again? Why is it just panicking me? Why is it just fucking me up and giving me a fucking panic attack? Like this shit's pissing me off. Like I miss like being able to just smoke weed and like have a good fucking time. And now I can't fucking do that anymore. I'm like, so I kept trying and it just it's so to eventually to the point where I was like, girl, I'm not even gonna try anymore. Like, I'm so sick of this. Like, just trying to smoke weed. It feels good sometimes, whatever, and I keep doing it, and then it gives me a panic attack, and it gives me a panic attack, and those are the only times I've ever had, like, panic attacks. I've never experienced, like, a panic attack in my entire life, even though my life's been fucking shit, and so many horrible things have happened. Like, I've never had a panic attack until after I stopped smoking weed and I started it again. So I was like, I eventually gave up, but I kept trying, and then I gave up, and I tried and gave up, and now I'm to the point where I'm not a stoner. I don't smoke weed. What was that? Will this fuck up the video? Oh. Stop. I gave up on weed. And I haven't smoked weed like in like a year. Well, I do smoke weed occasionally, like when I'm drinking. I'll smoke a little bit and it doesn't freak me out just because there's like that level of alcohol that makes it toward, you know, like alcohol like makes you feel like careless, like, oh, whatever, I can do whatever, it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna have a panic attack, like I'm not gonna freak out, like because nothing freaks you out. Like once you drink, like everything feels like so it's like I can smoke weed with it and it just like helps the buzz, like it kind of adds to the buzz, because like I have this weed pen that I got with a friend, and I got it like what 4 months ago or something, and I still have this much left because I only like smoke it a tiny little bit every time I drink. But I can't smoke it sober because I'll have a fucking panic attack. And I don't know what it is about that. Well, I heard a theory or someone talking about how, or something with like, it's like a mixture of two things I've heard or three things I've heard, like where if you stop smoking weed for a while, your body regulates or whatever, and then once you hit it again with that shit after, like, and it's after the first time you smoked it, so you're not used to it anymore, it's just your body reacts to it differently. And then I heard another theory I saw in the comment section of someone talking about how they get panic attacks smoking weed or whatever, and they were talking about how it's like when you're a kid, because that's when I started smoking weed, you don't have any like real issues to worry about. It's not all on your shoulders. So you don't really have things to panic about or things to like overthink and cause a panic attack and like overfeel and cause a panic attack. You're just like a kid and you're underdeveloped and all this shit. So when you smoke weed, it doesn't give you a panic attack. But then the older you get, the more it causes a panic attack, the more, depending on your brain chemistry, the more you're aware of the things that are on your shoulders and the things that you've done wrong and all this stuff, and you start really thinking about things, and it induces a panic attack because you're like thinking too much about everything. You're thinking like, oh my god, that thing I did that time and that thing I did this time and this, and how do people perceive me at work, and how am I being perceived right now, and what if I lose my job because of this, and what if the world ends, and like what if a war starts, which a war is about to fucking start, bitch, mark my words. But that's aside from the point. And so smoking weed will make me think about shit like that, especially the way I just said, like, oh yeah, whatever. That's gonna make me start overthinking, and then that will like snowball into a panic attack. So I can't fucking handle that shit anymore. Anyway, all that stemming from me being like, oh, I'll take a drink and you fucking take a drink, or if you smoke or whatever, go ahead and do that. And then it reminded me of all that. So that's aside from the fucking point. The point is philosophy. Girl, what do I even talk about? My ideas of God are so intense. Where do I start? I like have to like so my idea of God. See, I'm not an atheist. I'm an what's it called? Agnostic. Agnostic. I'm just agnostic. There's agnostic atheist or whatever. I don't know. My own category is agnostic, where it's like, I don't believe a specific religion. I believe that there is a God. But then there's a part of me that is like, well, it's like either there is a God or there isn't a God, but it feels like, I lean towards like, it feels like there has to be a God in a sense. And if there isn't a God and I'm wrong about everything, like, okay, that's fine, because like comprehending God is impossible to do within the confines of our existence and the confines of our dimension. It's impossible to fully comprehend what God would be, what God is. So it's like I'm agnostic, where it's like I don't know if there is a God. I heavily lean towards the fact that there could be, or the idea that there could be. And I heavily lean towards that idea that there is. But I also acknowledge like the idea that there might not be. And this is just the nature of everything. But I kind of like the main idea of what I think of what God would be is like an extra dimensional being, like a being that is above it's beyond our dimension, beyond our comprehension. And it's like, you can only, I always say this, it's impossible to comprehend, it's impossible to comprehend beyond the fabric in which you are woven. And that meaning, within this dimension that we are in, we can only comprehend so far. We are woven with it. We can only comprehend beyond the fabric. We can only comprehend within the fabric in which we are woven, or in the fabric in which we are woven. Like, we can't comprehend beyond that, and the fabric of our reality, our dimension that we're in. Like, your brain and your existence is only within the confines of this dimension. So it's impossible, using the fabric that we are woven within, in which we are woven, meaning like the fabric of this reality that we're in, this dimension, it's impossible to comprehend beyond it, because we don't have the capacity to, because we are made of the materials that are only possible within this dimension. So it's impossible to comprehend what God would be, or angels, or demons, or ghosts. That's why, like, ghosts, it's like, you can't see them. Sometimes you can, but barely. Like, it's like they're in it's like a demons and angel, it's like in a different dimension, where it's like the only really real way to reach those dimensions is to dream or die. Because then your soul, I feel like in your dreams or in your subconscious, those are the only like ways where you can be alive and also be connected with all the other dimensions. And that's why you have crazy dreams, and people from the past, the afterlife, can communicate through dreams. And same with your subconscious, like things like that, like things that you're not really, it's like we're connected to that, because we're all a part of, like, even though we are woven within the fabric, our souls transcend that, and we are all, every other dimension, everything, God, angels, demons, like, it's all connected. We just can't, within the confines of this dimension, we can't like fully directly confront those things. They're just kind of there, and they like show signs of being there, but there's no direct confrontation between us, like with these bodies and our souls within these bodies. There's no way for us to directly communicate with them, but our souls can. Our souls are connected to our bodies, which are trapped within this dimension, but our souls are a part of the rest of everything that can communicate with everything. So that's why in your dreams, or when you die, you go to another dimension, or you become a part of this big thing, and in your dreams you get messages from deceased loved ones and stuff like that, or just like divine messages or whatever the fuck, because that's like your soul. It's like your body is asleep, or subconsciously through your body, or your, mainly like if your body's like asleep, like it's like your soul is more connected. You can like receive more from the outside, and it's impossible for us to like really comprehend what God would be. Like, you can't, God isn't just a bearded man in the sky. That's just what people depict him to be. There's no real way to imagine what God would look like, because he's beyond the confines of our dimension. So God would be I think I'm like, I always say, what, like, God is more of an it than a him or a her. God is beyond those. That's just one of the rules of this dimension, like being a creature in this material, physical dimension. There has to be, and there has to be a he or a her or a this or a that. like things work in specific ways to make things work within this dimension, but God is beyond that. So it's like God is more of an it's an omnipresent kind of like, God is beyond every dimension and beyond anything, and it's impossible for us to comprehend what God exactly would be, because he is beyond the fabric in which we are woven. And I could get so much more in depth to all this fucking shit, but this video is already long, and the last video was like almost an hour long, and it took 3 days to upload. So, but that's like the gist of my idea of God and spirituality is, it's like, it's based within science, but it's like beyond our comprehension. So it's like, and people always say this thing like, well, it's not proven by science, so it doesn't exist. If it's not proven by science, like science can't explain it, so it can't be real. Well, science is a constantly evolving thing. So there are so many more things to discover that we haven't figured out yet. And also, like, maybe we can come to the point where our science realizes, it gets to a point where it's so advanced that we can transcend dimensions and stuff like that. But it's just not to that point yet. We're not that advanced yet. So it's like when people say, oh, that isn't explained by science, so I don't believe it. Well, science isn't a constantly evolving thing. That's why people in the fucking 1600s didn't believe in fucking like viruses, or 1400s didn't believe in fucking viruses, or whatever, viruses and germs, and fucking space was real, because they didn't fucking have the science to explain it yet. They didn't even fucking really have science. They're like, it can't be real, like there's no way to explain it yet, or there's no way to explain it. Well, science is an ever evolving, constantly evolving thing, so you can't use that as an argument. Well, science can't explain it. Well, maybe it's impossible for science to explain it, because science is within the confines of this dimension, and it's impossible to comprehend beyond the fabric in which you are woven. So maybe certain things are impossible to comprehend. Maybe science will never comprehend fully or explain fully what God and angels and demons and ghosts are. That doesn't mean they're not there. That just means we don't have the capability of detecting them, maybe ever. Maybe we'll get to a point, maybe it is possible to get to a point to understand, like comprehend, like put into words and comprehend exactly what it is. But I don't think so, because I think that the science is within the fabric in which we are woven, and it's impossible to comprehend beyond that, because it's made of different materials like the rest of reality. So it's impossible to comprehend that within this dimension. You have to die to comprehend that. Your soul has to transition into that, to like be immersed into that and understand that. It's impossible for us to comprehend that within this bubble, in this universe that we're in. So like, just because science can't explain it doesn't mean it isn't real. Doesn't mean it's not a thing. It just means science can't explain it yet, or maybe it never will, because science is confined within this dimension, the science that we can comprehend. Like there may be science to it. It's all structured, but our version of science within this dimension can't go beyond the walls of the fabric in which we are woven, within this bubble of this one reality with all these other fucking realities, and then whatever God is above it, even if God is conscious or not, like whatever it is, who knows? There's no explanation. Like, you can't really understand it. That's why I go back and forth between the idea of, is there a God or isn't there a God? Is this just all just like how things always go, or is there something overarching above it and there's something beyond that we can't comprehend? Who fucking knows? So yeah, that's my philosophy, I guess. Just like the first part, like maybe I'll talk about it later in different videos of different things, because I always think about different things like that aren't just like about God and reality, but like different things and stuff. So this is my philosophy God video. I may talk about it like here now, like every now and then in the future, but that's just the meat and potatoes of it, I guess. But there's way more. There are so many things that I have like said in conversations with people that I was like, oh, I wish I recorded that, because like what I said was like so fascinating. Like I want to like look back on it, and I want like other people to look at it, because like I want opinions or whatever. Like I want other people's ideas, and I want to share my ideas, and they've gotten very complex and stuff, but I just can't remember them exactly right now. To say it to the camera, but I was always like, girl, I fucking wish I fucking had some fucking camera or some fucking shit. Was recording this in some way. But that's basically just the gist of it. And also, fuck you. You're a fucking bitch. I see you. You're a fucking bitch. And you always have been, and you always will be. That's just my one thing. And there's so many other things I want to talk about, dude. Alright, cheers. Oh, yeah. Guys. Let's see. See if this freaks me out. And now, after you drink with me, you can smoke with me. You know when it's been sitting around for a while and it like has that shit built up into it, and you have to like suck really hard. You have to like suck so fucking hard to like get it to come loose and blow into your mouth. That's what's going on with this right now. Hold on. Not too much now. See, it tastes good. Like I've always enjoyed the taste of it. And this and the smell of it. But it usually gives me a panic attack unless I'm drinking, which I am drinking, so. Anyway. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye, fuck you.